person who suffered from asthma, various allergies, and a rare genetic condition called sickle cell trait, weighed 135 kilograms, was mocked at school and had an abusive father at home. During his childhood, his parents separated. By the age of 24, he was working as a pace controller, living a depressing and defeated life. One day, he saw a Navy SEAL documentary on TV. The U.S. Navy SEALs are special forces trained to carry out dangerous operations on air, land, and sea. Their training is so intense that they can survive under any condition. This documentary became a trigger moment for David Goggins. He realized that this training, discipline, and lifestyle could be his way out of the misery he was living in. He decided to become a Navy SEAL. Everyone around him laughed at his decision, but David began transforming himself. Within 3 months, he lost 50 kilograms. He then went on to complete Hell Week, the toughest training program of the Navy SEALs, known for being so extreme that 75% of people drop out on their first attempt. David completed it not just once, but 3 times. After that, he faced many of the toughest endurance challenges in the world, including Badwater 135, a 217-kilometer race held in the Death Valley's extreme heat of 55 degrees Celsius. The same man who had once given up on life went on to complete more than 60 ultramarathons, became an ultra-distance cyclist, a triathlete, and a world record holder for doing over 4,000 pull-ups. This is why David Goggins is called the toughest man alive. My team and I decided to research David's life. We listened to his podcasts, watched numerous videos, and referred to many books while taking notes. We thoroughly understood that his journey was not just about physical strength, but about mental toughness and self-discipline. We learned how he worked on his willpower, built an extreme level of focus, never gave up, and ignored people's negative comments. We also discovered the strategies David used to stay mentally strong. When we unlocked David's life story, we found 6 key strategies. These 6 strategies are so powerful that adopting even 1 or 2 of them can completely transform anyone's life. David had a trigger moment through that documentary. Perhaps you can find yours too. This video could be the trigger for you to start living a new and powerful life filled with discipline and motivation. Before we dive into David's 6 strategies, it's essential to understand what discipline really is and the difference between discipline and motivation. One thing should be clear: discipline is not a natural talent. It's a skill that anyone can develop, including you. Let me give you an example. Imagine there's a stone, and you're trying to break it by hitting it with a hammer every day. The stone doesn't break after 1 hit, or 10, or even 50. But one day, without thinking, you strike it again, and the stone shatters. Many people would say, "It only took 1 hit. What was the big deal?" But you know that behind that 1 hit were countless others, day after day. In our lives, we face distractions everywhere: social media, notifications, web series, and many other things that make us weak. If we don't have discipline, these distractions act as the stone, blocking our growth. However, once you understand self-discipline, these distractions begin to break down one by one. Now, what's the difference between motivation and discipline? Motivation is like electricity. When the power is on, everything works: the fan, the lights, the AC. But when the power goes out, everything stops. Motivation is unpredictable. Some days you're motivated to wake up early and work. Other days you're not. You may go to the gym for a few days because you're motivated, but when motivation fades, you stop going. On the other hand, discipline is like an inverter. Even if motivation fails, discipline keeps you going. It's not dependent on your mood or any situation. When you understand discipline, you wake up every day, go to the gym every day, and study every day. You don't wait for motivation. Just like a mother doesn't wait for motivation. If she has to send her child to school, she does it. Her discipline drives her. If she needs to feed her child, she does it. Discipline is not dependent on motivation. For someone like Virat Imran Khan, if he needs to exercise daily or maintain control over his diet, discipline drives him, not motivation. In this video, to understand David Goggins' 6 important strategies, we first need to understand the power of diet and discipline. When you focus on your diet, it's not about doing it for just one day. Sticking to a diet is not about motivation or mood, but discipline. The person who consistently makes the right decisions every day will be the one who benefits in the long run. Motivation might provide short-term benefits, but discipline gives you long-term success. Discipline is independent of emotions, moods, and feelings. Just like a mother feeds her child without needing motivation, discipline becomes a part of your lifestyle. Until you make it a part of your life, it will always be difficult. Now, let's dive into the first strategy of David Goggins, the accountability mirror. David says that most people are afraid to face their real problems. They ignore their flaws and blame others. When David was overweight and undisciplined in his life, he stopped running from himself and looked in the mirror. He said, "You are fat, you are lazy, you are wasting your potential." This kind of mirror examination helps us acknowledge our flaws. According to David, accountability brings responsibility, and responsibility leads to possibility. Virat Kohli also had his turning point when he looked in the mirror and accepted his flaws. David Goggins says, "Denial is the ultimate comfort zone. If you keep denying your flaws, you will never improve. Therefore, being honest with yourself and accepting your failures is very important. Ultimately, you must understand that accepting responsibility for yourself can change your life." David Goggins shares a powerful lesson about pushing through physical and mental limits. He learned that when you feel exhausted, you are only using 40% of your actual potential. There's still 60% left inside you that you haven't tapped into yet. He realized this during his toughest physical challenges like ultra-marathons and Navy SEAL training. Whenever he felt tired, he would remind himself that he was only working at 40% and would push through, eventually completing the race. This concept is linked to our brain's programming, which is designed to protect us from discomfort and fatigue. When our brain senses exhaustion, it sends signals to stop, even though we still have more potential left. The mental stop is the real barrier. If we push past this mental limit, we can break through and achieve much more. David's first goal in his fitness journey was to run just 1 mile without stopping. Initially, he couldn't do it, but through persistence, he eventually ran that mile, then 2, then 5, and now he completes ultramarathons of 100 miles. This is the same mindset behind every successful business. The cookie jar concept is another powerful tool David uses to stay motivated. Whenever he faces a tough challenge, he remembers past achievements and victories, which helps him build self-belief. He uses his past wins, like overcoming tough situations, saving lives, or surviving business losses, to fuel him in the present. The cookie jar works because remembering past victories shifts your mindset from self-doubt to self-belief. It reminds you that you've overcome challenges before, and this new challenge will also help you grow. You can create your own cookie jar by writing down your past victories and keeping them as reminders of your strength. You can write these things down in your diary, keep them on your phone, or even just create a mental cookie jar in your mind. Whenever you're feeling weak or your motivation is wavering, go to your mental cookie jar and remember past achievements, past strength, or challenges you've faced. Recall the visual or scene of overcoming those moments. 4th point, callusing the mind. David talks about callusing the mind. Just like workers or farmers have rough hands and feet because of hard work, The skin becomes hardened as a protective mechanism to shield the body from stress and pressure. Similarly, David says you should callus your mind. If you want to make your mind stronger, intentionally add discomfort to your life. Start small, like taking cold showers or deciding not to eat junk food. Then gradually increase the discomfort by reading books or waking up at 4 a.m. This helps build your mental muscle, which will help you in your next steps. Everyone should intentionally do something uncomfortable to keep the mind tough. For example, if you take hot showers, try making it a little cooler. If you're afraid of speaking, go to places where you need to talk. Do things you don't like but are good for your health. You might wonder how these small things are connected to your life. Just like your skin gets stronger, these small acts will strengthen your mind. It conditions you to do things that you don't like. The mind will become ready for challenges instead of running away from them. Think about how powerful it would be if your mind becomes ready for challenges rather than avoiding them. Remember what the coach said. True victory is not about beating the other player. The true victory is in overcoming that inner voice within you. The real victory is in defeating the voice inside you that says, you've already lost. Winning over that voice is when you truly become a champion, and that's when you'll get your medal. Fifth point. The power of small wins. When Navy SEALs undergo training, there's a Hell Week. It's the last week of training where the body is pushed to extreme conditions: cold, heat, water, stress, and pain. You get very little sleep, and it's exhausting both physically and mentally. David says that instead of thinking about completing the entire week, he focused on small tasks, small goals, and celebrated each small victory. For example, there's a drill to complete, and once it's done, you get food. People only notice the big victories, but behind every big victory is a chain of small victories. One of the biggest secrets to David's discipline is understanding the importance of small wins and celebrating them. When he was doing long-distance running, he broke his goals down into smaller milestones, breaking big goals into micro goals. David broke his big targets into smaller ones, like targeting 1 mile, then 2, then 5 miles. At one point, he lost 100 pounds by focusing on daily goals, such as doing a certain number of push-ups, running, and working out every day. These micro goals and daily celebrations helped him. It's simple. Break your big ambitions into smaller, actionable tasks. Every small win takes you one step closer. Big goals can scare us, but small goals keep us moving forward. They build our confidence, give us momentum, and keep our minds disciplined. For example, if your goal is to lose 20 kilograms, make a micro goal to go to the gym. Celebrate that small win by saying, I went to the gym today. Over time, it becomes a habit, and eventually you'll achieve bigger goals. Similarly, if you're preparing for an exam, break it down to studying 1 chapter. When you complete that, celebrate it. Give yourself a pat on the back like, Shabash Beta. Well done. Tip for success. Here's a tip that worked for me and will help you too. Write down your goals for the week or month on a piece of paper. Whenever you complete a task, check it off. If you don't complete something, think about why it wasn't done. Your focus should be on ticking off those boxes. Each time you do so, you'll feel rewarded. Soon, you'll want to tick off more and more, and these small ticks will help you achieve big things in life. The power of why. One of the key aspects of discipline is having a strong purpose behind it. David's discipline was driven by a clear why. He knew he had to move from a mediocre life to an exceptional life. Many participants in my workshops ask how to find their why. The deeper purpose behind your actions is sometimes hidden. You need to ask yourself questions to find it. For example, if your goal is to get fit, ask yourself why. Why do you want to be fit? Is it because you want to prioritize your health? Do you want to enjoy life more? Or do you want to feel more confident in what you wear? This why is what drives you forward. Similarly, once you uncover your deeper purpose, it will fuel your discipline and actions. The power of a deeper why. We often say, I need these marks, or I need to clear this exam, but the motivation and discipline don't seem to come because we haven't dug deeper into why we want it. Take a moment to think. Why do I need to clear this exam? Why do I want these marks? Is it because it will kickstart my career? Will it help me gain experience? Or will it allow me to earn more money or give my parents a better life? These are the deeper whys that drive you forward. Closing thoughts, friends. I made this video because I know that one or two of these 6 points will resonate with everyone. Maybe for some of you, accountability hit a chord, or the 40% rule helped you explore your potential. For others, understanding your why might have clarified your purpose. Some of you might start embracing discomfort as a part of your life, becoming mentally stronger every day, ready to face life's toughest challenges and growing through them. This has been my mission for the past 14 years, to help you grow financially and mentally, and to contribute to the growth of our country. I will continue working towards this mission. My message remains the same. Don't wait for the right time. Start making the time right. Start today with the points that resonate with you and begin making the most of the time. We'll meet again in the next video. Until then, stay happy and keep spreading happiness. I love you all. So, if you found this video helpful, please make sure to subscribe. It won't cost you anything, but it will really help me on my journey, and you'll continue to get more videos like this. Your support means a lot, so hit that subscribe button. See you in the next video, and until then, stay happy.